Thanks for watching another episode of the Blue Couch Conversation. This week we have our new mama, or mama of three now, Janaye from J. Michelle. Come. Welcome to the Big Blue Couch.
Nice to meet you, Jay.
Nice seeing you. So, number one, congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course. So, J. Michelle Photography, you're back in it. Baby's big enough to kind of be on his own for a little bit.
Yes.
Not totally. But where did it all begin? How did this whole idea resonate and start?
Well, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, which is kind of when I started dabbling with photography, if I ever imagined myself being here, I would have said no. But it's funny you bring up my kids because my main inspiration was my firstborn, Parker. So I just was that mom who wanted to capture all of his milestones. And this was when digital photography and social media, I'm talking MySpace.
I was about to say, Instagram wasn't around yet.
Instagram had not splashed yet. Facebook was not even around. So I got my first digital camera and really just wanted to keep up with Parker and his milestones, and started to really fall in love with photography and children's photography and families, and would post pictures on my MySpace. And that was kind of how the ball got rolling with this all. I had friends see me, MySpace, thank you, MySpace. And then social media just really was a great platform for photography, and just got my first wedding, and it really kickstarted from there.
Awesome. So in all of these weddings, we've worked together bunches and bunches
Yes.
and bunches. So what has your fairy godmother experience been like?
It's always been so amazing, and I can't rave enough about the importance of having a coordinating team, and a solid coordinating team at that, for your big day. It's one day, you invest so much, you prepare sometimes years for this one day, and you want everything to go smooth, and it's hard to pull off on your own. You really need a staff like fairy godmother to come in and make sure all those little details come together. And every wedding I've worked with Fairy Godmother has been nothing but perfect. Everything's gone so smooth. And when I find out like they have hired Fairy Godmother, I'm just like, yes, it's gonna be a great wedding. Everything's gonna be perfect.
Love it. Well, we love producing them just as much as you love shooting them, so
Yes.
that works out. Now, in all of your weddings, has there ever been a snafu or a mishap where you're like, oh no, how are you gonna recover?
Yes,
And how
definitely.
did you do it?
So I had a great opportunity to shoot an elopement in Portland, Oregon, and the couple flew me out, and they were going to get married in a civil type setting, so a courthouse, and we hit horrible traffic. We did some photos before, did a first look, and hit 5 o'clock traffic on a Friday. The courthouse was closing right at 5. They made it very clear if you were not in the building 10 minutes before that, it would not take place. So we were literally parking the car, running, security was shutting the doors, and they looked at me and said, do something, help us. And I was like, can you please just let us in? They flew me all the way out here. I'm from California. They're in love. They want to get married. And security let us in, and the judge waited and married them. And so you just have to think on your feet a lot. And
Kindness goes a long way.
it does. So it all worked out for the best.
I like it. So now you pour your heart and soul into your clients, and I think that's a chunk of what people don't know outside of wedding world, because we call it the wedding day hangover. Like,
Yes.
you have that next day where you're just recovering, just mentally, physically, all the things. So in that, you give advice throughout the whole process. What is your best piece of advice to your couples?
When looking for a wedding photographer, I always tell my brides or prospective brides and grooms that they really need a connection, especially with their photographer, because it's such a personal aspect of their wedding day.
100%.
I spend most of the time with the bride and groom more than anyone else during the day. And your pictures are all you have to look back on once your day's over, and it goes by so fast. So I definitely would recommend having a personal connection, doing your homework, and making sure that you absolutely love everything about your photographer, their work, their reviews, and connecting with them is absolutely the most important aspect in my opinion.
I love it. Well, that's all good stuff. Thank you for joining us on the
Thank
Big
you.
Blue Couch. I loved it. And of
Thank you.
course, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for subscribing. We'll see you next week.
Darling, I love you. You say goodbye, away you fly. But on your lips you keep a kiss. All your life you'll dream of this love.